Welcome to a world where reality blurs with the unknown. Tonight we delve into the chilling tales of hotel suites that simply vanish. Imagine checking into a hotel, a seemingly ordinary establishment with flickering lights and the faint scent of bleach. You're given your key, but as you ascend the creaking staircase, a sense of unease washes over you. You reach the room number, but it's nowhere to be found. These are the stories of rooms lost to time and space, where guests check in but never check out. Tonight we explore 3 such tales, each more unsettling than the last. So turn down the lights, lock your doors, and prepare to enter a world where the line between reality and nightmare fades away. The storm raged outside, mirroring the turmoil brewing in John's stomach. He gripped the steering wheel tighter, his knuckles white against the worn leather. The old hotel loomed in the distance, its neon sign flickering like a dying ember. John was exhausted, desperate for a bed, even in this desolate place. He pulled into the near-empty parking lot, the silence a stark contrast to the howling wind. The lobby was deserted, lit by a single buzzing fluorescent light that cast long shadows. A bell chimed mournfully as John approached the dusty counter. A man emerged from the back, his face obscured by shadows. He spoke in a raspy voice, his words slow and deliberate. John booked a room, his unease growing with every creak of the floorboards. The room key felt ice-cold in John's hand. He climbed the creaking staircase, each step echoing in the unsettling silence. The numbers on the doors seemed to blur, the air growing heavy with a strange energy. He finally found his room, 207, at the end of a long, darkened hallway. He pushed the key into the lock, the mechanism groaning in protest. The door swung open with a heavy thud, revealing a room shrouded in darkness. John flicked the light switch, but nothing happened. The only light came from the flickering neon sign outside, casting long shadows across the room. He stepped inside, his heart pounding in his chest. The air was thick with the smell of mildew and something else, something ancient. He fumbled for his phone, his fingers trembling as he turned on the flashlight. The beam danced across the room, revealing peeling wallpaper, threadbare furniture, and a single dusty window. John took a deep breath, trying to calm his racing heart. He told himself it was just an old, run-down hotel. But deep down, a primal fear gnawed at his insides. He decided to try the light switch again, hoping it was just a loose connection. He flicked it on and off, but the room remained dark. He sighed, his breath catching in his throat. He would have to call the front desk if he could even find his way back down the hallways. As he turned to leave, his eyes fell on something he hadn't noticed before. On the nightstand, beside a dusty lamp, lay a book. It was bound in dark leather, its pages yellowed with age. He picked it up, his fingers tracing the worn spine. There was no title, no author's name, just a single tarnished brass lock. John felt a strange pull towards the book, an irresistible urge to unlock its secrets. He rummaged through his pockets, finding a small penknife. John's breaths came in short, panicked gasps as he frantically searched for another way out. The windows were sealed shut, trapping him within the room's suffocating confines. He was a prisoner in his own personal horror movie, the walls seeming to close in with each passing moment. He paced the room, his mind racing, desperately seeking a solution. The book had mentioned something about the room, about its true nature. He had to find that passage, had to understand what he was dealing with. He snatched the book from the nightstand, his fingers clumsily flipping through the brittle pages. His eyes scanned the faded Latin, searching for any clue, any hint that could help him escape this nightmare. Then he found it. A single paragraph circled in the margins as if warning future readers of its significance. The room exists outside of time, it read. A phantom echo of what once was, what might be, and what should never be. To escape its grasp, one must confront the echoes, embrace the shadows, and become one with the forgotten. John reread the passage, each word sending shivers down his spine. What did it mean to confront the echoes, to embrace the shadows? Was he losing his mind, driven mad by the isolation and fear? He glanced around the room, his eyes falling on the mirror above the dresser. Its surface was clouded with age, reflecting his own distorted image back at him. He stepped closer, his heart pounding in his chest. Was this what the book meant? Was the mirror the key to escaping this nightmare? He reached out, his fingers trembling as they brushed against the cold glass. As soon as he touched it, the room seemed to shift, the air growing thick and heavy. The reflection in the mirror rippled, the image of his own terrified face replaced by a kaleidoscope of swirling colors and distorted shapes. He stumbled back, his heart pounding in his chest. The room was changing, the walls seeming to breathe, the shadows dancing and swirling as if alive. He felt a presence in the room with him, something cold and ancient watching him from the shadows. He wanted to scream, to run, but his feet felt rooted to the spot, frozen in place by an unseen force. The air hung heavy with the weight of forgotten memories, whispering tales of vanished souls and forgotten dreams. John wandered the labyrinthine hallways, each turn revealing more closed doors and echoing silence. The flickering gaslights cast his shadow, elongated and distorted, mocking his every move. Time lost all meaning in this disorienting space. Minutes bled into hours, hours into what felt like days. John's throat was parched, his stomach gnawing with hunger, but the phantom realm offered no sustenance. He encountered other rooms, each one a faded reflection of a bygone era. A Victorian-era parlor frozen in time, a gramophone needle scratching the same haunting melody on repeat. A 1920s speakeasy filled with phantom laughter and the clinking of unseen glasses. Each room held a flicker of life, a ghostly echo of its former occupants, but they offered John no solace, no escape. He began to lose hope, his spirit waning with each passing moment. Was he destined to wander this spectral labyrinth for eternity, a prisoner of his own fear? The words from the book echoed in his mind. Embrace the shadows. Was that the key? To surrender to this place, to become one with the forgotten? John stumbled upon a grand ballroom, its once gleaming floor now covered in a thick layer of dust. A single chandelier hung precariously from the ceiling, its crystals dull and lifeless. As he entered the room, he noticed a figure standing at the far end, silhouetted against a tall arched window. The figure turned, and John's blood ran cold. It was him, or rather a reflection of himself. But this reflection was different, older, his eyes filled with a profound sadness. "Who are you?" John whispered, his voice hoarse from disuse. The reflection sighed, the sound like rustling leaves. "I am you," it said, its voice a hollow echo of his own, or rather, "I am what you might become." John's mind reeled. Was this some twisted manifestation of his own fear, a specter conjured from his own subconscious, or was it something more, a guide in this disorienting realm? "How do I escape?" John pleaded, his voice cracking with desperation. "How do I get back?" The reflection stepped closer, its form solidifying, becoming more real with each passing moment. "The room feeds on fear," it said, its voice low and resonant. "It thrives on uncertainty, on the unraveling of the mind. To escape, you must confront your fear, embrace the shadows, and find the truth within the echoes." When John awoke, he was lying in his own bed, sunlight streaming through his bedroom window. He sat up, his heart still racing, his body slick with a cold sweat. Had it all been a dream, a vivid nightmare conjured from a restless night's sleep? He glanced at the clock on his nightstand. It was the same time he had checked into the hotel. He could still feel the phantom chill of the room, smell the dust and decay, hear the echoes of the forgotten. He knew deep down that it had been all too real. As he went about his day, the events of the previous night lingered in the back of his mind. a chilling reminder of the hidden realms that exist just beyond the veil of our perception. He never spoke of his experience, knowing that no one would believe him.